Welcome back to Tap Tech. Today, we're diving deep into a device that has stirred up excitement across the gaming community, the ROG Ally X. This is Asus's refined handheld gaming PC that builds on the original ROG Ally, and from the specs alone, it's clear Asus is aiming high. Let's start by looking at the heart of the ROG Ally X, its upgraded hardware. Under the hood, we're still looking at AMD's Z1 Extreme processor, the same powerful chip that delivered impressive performance in the original Ally. But Asus made a smart move here by pairing it with a massive 24GB of LPDDR5X RAM, a noticeable upgrade from the 16GB in the previous model. This means more multitasking headroom, smoother performance, and better future-proofing, especially for more demanding titles. The SSD has also been upgraded. Now, you get a full M.2 2280 slot, giving users better storage options and easier upgrades. Asus includes a 1TB SSD out of the box, which is plenty for most gamers, but having the flexibility to swap or upgrade is a win. Next, the battery, and this is where Asus really listened to feedback. The ROG Ally X comes with an 80 Wh battery, double the size of the one in the original Ally. That translates to significantly longer play sessions. You're looking at up to 8 hours of light use and around 3 to 5 hours of gaming depending on settings. For a handheld with this kind of power, that's pretty impressive. And while we're on power, let's talk thermals. The ROG Ally X gets a redesigned cooling system. There are 2 fans now, but they're slimmer, and the airflow has been optimized. Asus says they've increased internal airflow by 24% while reducing fan noise. That's a big deal when you're gaming on the go. You don't want a jet engine in your hands. Design-wise, the ROG Ally X is still sleek but now comes in an all-black chassis. It looks more serious, more premium. It's slightly thicker and heavier, but not by much. It still feels very portable and ergonomic. The grips have been redesigned, offering better comfort during long sessions. The button layout remains familiar, and the joysticks and D-pad feel just as responsive. One major improvement is in the I/O department. Asus added an extra USB-C port. Now, you get 2 USB-C ports, one of which supports USB 4, DisplayPort 1.4, and 100W charging. This is great for docking, accessories, and future expansion. Asus also reworked the location of the ports, so cables don't get in your way while you're holding the device. The display hasn't changed much, but that's not a bad thing. You still get a beautiful 7-inch 1080p IPS panel with a 120Hz refresh rate and FreeSync Premium. It's bright, color-accurate, and makes games look fantastic. Whether you're playing Elden Ring, Fortnite, or Forza Horizon, the visuals pop. It's a good display, and Asus didn't need to mess with it. Software-wise, Asus continues to refine the Armoury Crate SE interface. It gives you control over performance modes, lighting, fan curves, and more. It's cleaner now, more intuitive. There are still occasional hiccups, like occasional overlay bugs, but overall, the experience is improving. Game library management is easier, and the OS feels less clunky compared to the original released AS for real-world gaming. The ROG Ally X delivers. Whether docked or handheld, the Z1 Extreme chip paired with that 24GB RAM makes light work of most modern titles. You can play games like Cyberpunk 2077 on medium to high settings with FSR turned on and still hit playable frame rates. Indie games and emulation? No sweat. Even older console emulation runs perfectly, including PS3 and Nintendo Switch titles. One of the most underrated upgrades, though, is the redesigned internal layout. Asus moved the battery cells and motherboard components to improve balance. The Ally X feels better in the hand. Less fatigue. Less heat where your palms rest. These little ergonomic changes matter more than specs sometimes. Another important improvement is the support for third-party accessories. You're no longer limited to Asus's proprietary XG mobile port. That's a big step. It opens up options for eGPUs and USB docks from other brands. It gives users freedom, something handheld PC gamers have been asking for in terms of sound. The stereo speakers are still loud and clear. Not a major change here, but they do the job. You also get a 3.5mm headphone jack and Bluetooth 5.2 for wireless audio. Microphone quality is decent for in-game chat, but don't expect podcast level clarity. Now, let's talk price. The ROG Ally X is more expensive than the original Ally, around $799. But considering the bigger battery, better memory, expanded ports, and ergonomic improvements, it makes sense. For someone who wants a serious handheld gaming PC with fewer compromises, this is a solid investment. Let's not forget software compatibility. It runs Windows 11, meaning you have access to the full PC gaming ecosystem: Steam, Epic, Xbox Game Pass, GOG, and more. It's not as plug-and-play as a Switch. But for PC gamers, the flexibility is unmatched. Battery life varies depending on usage. Light indie titles can go 6 to 8 hours. Games at high settings will drain it in 2 to 4. Balanced mode, with moderate brightness and frame caps, hits the sweet spot. Let's summarize some quick pros and cons. Pros: excellent performance with AMD Z1 Extreme plus 24GB RAM, huge 80Wh battery, extra USB-C port with USB for better cooling and quieter fans, ergonomic improvements, easily upgradable storage, runs full Windows 11 with wide game support. Cons: slightly heavier than original Ally, Windows still isn't perfect for handheld use, higher price, occasional software quirks. Overall, the ROG Ally X isn't just a minor refresh. It's a thoughtful revision of what made the original great, and what could have been better. ASUS has shown they're listening to the community. They've refined the design, improved battery life, and made it more open to third-party accessories. That's the kind of direction we want to see in the handheld gaming PC market. If you're a gamer who wants power, portability, and performance, and you don't mind paying a bit more for it, the ROG Ally X is absolutely worth checking out. Thanks for watching this in-depth review here on Tap Tech. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more hands-on reviews, unboxings, and tech coverage every week. See you in the next video.